There is one question at a car dealership that will cost you thousands of dollars, and I guarantee you, almost every single person watching this has already answered it. By the end of this video, you're going to know more about how car deals actually work than 90% of the people walking into a dealership this weekend. And trust me, the dealers are counting on you not knowing this stuff. So here it is, the question, the one you should never, ever answer. Ready? How much do you want your monthly payment to be? That's it. That's the trap. Sounds innocent, right? Sounds like the dealer is trying to help you, like they're on your side working with your budget. Oh, they're working something all right. They're working you. See, when you tell a dealer, I want to pay about $400 a month, you didn't give them a budget. You gave them a blank check. Because now they don't have to compete on the actual price of the car. They don't have to give you a fair interest rate. All they have to do is hit that $400 number. And there are about 15 different ways to hit that number while absolutely destroying you financially. Let me show you exactly how this works. Let's say you're looking at a car that costs $35,000. Good car, fair price. You tell the dealer, I want my payment to be around $450 a month. The dealer smiles, nods, goes to the back to talk to the manager. You know that whole song and dance. They come back and they say, great news. We got you to $450 a month. And you feel like you won. You feel like you negotiated. But here's what they actually did. They stretched your loan from 4 years to 7 years, 84 months, at a higher interest rate than you could have gotten on your own. And they probably packed in an extended warranty and gap insurance you didn't ask for. On a 48-month loan at 6.5%, that $35,000 car cost you about $4,800 in interest. Total cost? Roughly $40,000. Not great, but not terrible. But on an 84-month loan, that same car at the same rate now costs you $8,680 in interest. That's nearly double the interest. And if they bumped your rate up to 10% because you didn't know any better, you're paying almost $14,000 in interest on a $35,000 car. You're now paying $49,000 for a $35,000 car. Let that sink in. $14,000. That's a whole other car. That's a used Honda Civic just in interest payments. You could literally buy a second car with the money you wasted because you answered one question. And this isn't some rare scam happening at shady buy here, pay here lots. This is happening everywhere. Right now, over 20% of new car loans are longer than 84 months. Almost 60% of all new car financing stretches 6 years or more. The average car loan term in America is 69 months. That's almost 6 years of payments on something that loses value the second you drive it off the lot. You know what used to be 84 months? That was a mortgage in the 1950s. People were buying houses in 84 months. Now we're buying Kias in 84 months. No shade to Kia, but come on. Here's the part that really gets me though. When you go to this little room at the dealership called the F&I office, that stands for finance and insurance. That's the room where the magic happens. And by magic, I mean the disappearing of your money. The average dealership makes $2,534 in profit per car just from what happens in that little room. Not from selling you the car, just from the financing and the add-ons. And in some dealership groups, 66% of their total income comes from that office. Not from selling cars, from financing them. So how do they make all this money? 3 ways. First, dealer reserve. This is the most important thing nobody knows about. When a dealer arranges your financing, the bank gives them what's called a buy rate. Let's say the bank says, We'll give this person 5%. The dealer is allowed to mark that up. So they tell you the rate is 7%. That extra 2% goes straight into the dealer's pocket. You never see it on any paperwork. You'd never know it was there. And according to a study from MIT, 78% of dealer-arranged loans have a marked-up interest rate. The average markup is over 1 full percentage point. On a $30,000 loan over 5 years, that 1 point costs you $840. Gone. Invisible. Just vanished into the dealer's pocket. Second, payment packing. This is where it gets really sneaky. The F&I manager quotes you a monthly payment that's slightly higher than it needs to be. Then they use that hidden margin to slip in products like extended warranties, paint protection, fabric protection, credit insurance, and they present it like it's included. Oh, that comes with the package. No, it doesn't. You're paying for it. They just buried it in the monthly payment so you can't see it. And those products, the markups are insane. Gap insurance costs $20 to $100 a year if you buy it from your regular auto insurer. At the dealership, $400 to $1,500. Extended warranties have dealer markups of $600 to $2,000 per contract. One analysis estimated the average total markup on a dealer loan package is over $2,000. Third, the Foursquare. This is the dealer's secret negotiation tool. They take a piece of paper, draw 4 boxes on it: vehicle price, trade-in value, down payment, monthly payment. Then they fill in terrible numbers for all 4. You object to the monthly payment. They fold the paper. Now you can only see the bottom 2 boxes. They start crossing out numbers, scribbling new ones, creating chaos on purpose. And here's the trick. They lower your monthly payment by extending the loan term while quietly raising the vehicle price. You think you negotiated. You didn't. You just paid more and agreed to pay it for longer. One dealer group actually admitted publicly that the Foursquare is, quote, deceptive and borderline illegal. Their words, not mine. Now, here's where this gets really personal for our community, because all of this hits Black and Hispanic buyers harder, and I've got the receipts. A study published in the Review of Financial Studies analyzed millions of auto loans. After controlling for credit score, income, debt, location, everything measurable, Black and Hispanic borrowers still pay 70 basis points more in interest. That's 0.7% higher just for being Black or brown. In areas with higher measured racial bias, that gap jumps to 1.25% higher. The National Fair Housing Alliance sent match testers into dealerships in Virginia. Same credit qualifications. The non-white tester actually had better finances. Non-white testers received worse pricing 62.5% of the time. Over the life of the loan, they'd pay $2,600 more for the same car. And here's the kicker that proves it's not about risk. Black and Hispanic borrowers who get charged these higher rates actually default less often than white borrowers with similar financial profiles. The higher rates aren't based on risk, they're based on bias. Period. The CFPB actually tried to fix this. They went after the big lenders. Ally Financial had to pay $98 million for discriminating against 235,000 minority borrowers. Honda paid $24 million. Toyota paid $21.9 million. And during that enforcement period, racial interest rate disparities dropped by 60%. But then, in 2018, Congress rolled back the protections. And as of right now, the Consumer Watchdog Agency itself is being gutted. So the system that was already stacked against you, it just lost its referee. So what do we do about it? How do you walk into a dealership and not get finessed? 5 things. That's all you need. 1. Never reveal your target monthly payment. When they ask, you say, "I'd rather talk about the total price of the car." You only negotiate on the out-the-door price. That's the total number, including taxes, fees, everything. If they can't give you that number, walk out. 2. Get pre-approved before you ever step foot in a dealership. Go to a credit union. Their average rate is around 5.75% versus 7.5% at banks and even higher at dealers. On a $30,000 loan, that can save you $1,400 to $2,000. Plus, when you walk in pre-approved, the dealer can't mark up your rate. You already have a rate. They have to beat it, or you use yours. 3. Separate everything. The price of the car is one negotiation. Your trade-in is a separate negotiation. Financing is a third negotiation. Do not let them mix these together. That's how the shell game works. Consider selling your trade-in privately. You'll get $2,000 to $5,000 more than any dealer will offer you. 4. Negotiate by email before you show up. Get an itemized out-the-door price from at least 3 dealers. No pressure. No 4-square worksheet. No sales manager coming out to shake your hand and make you feel guilty. Just numbers on a screen. 5. In the F&I office, say no to everything you haven't researched in advance. Everything they offer is optional. Everything is negotiable. And everything costs 2 to 5 times more at the dealership than if you bought it yourself. Pull out your phone calculator. Check every number. Do not let them quote you anything as a monthly cost. Demand the full dollar amount. Now let me give you the quick math framework so you never get caught off guard again. It's simple. Take the price of the car, multiply the interest rate times the price. That gives you annual interest. Then multiply by the number of years. So a $10,000 car at 3% interest, that's $300 a year in interest. Over 6 years, that's $1,800 in total interest. Your real cost is $11,800. Not $10,000, $11,800. If somebody tries to stretch that to 8 years, now you're at $2,400 in interest, and at a higher rate because longer terms usually mean higher rates. So now you might be at 4% over 8 years, which is $3,200 in interest. $13,200 for a $10,000 car. See how fast that adds up? That's the math they don't want you doing on the lot. And real talk, this is stuff that should be taught in every school in America, but it isn't. Only 29 states even require a personal finance course in high school. Only 29% of Americans can correctly answer a compound interest question. And 71% of people with auto loans don't know how much total interest they're paying. 71%. That's not an accident. That's a feature, not a bug. The system profits from your confusion. But you just watched this video, so you're not confused anymore. You know the question, you know the trap, you know the math, and most importantly, you know that having good credit isn't just about getting approved, it's about getting the rate that saves you thousands. The difference between a 780 credit score and a 580 credit score on a $35,000 car is over $8,000 in interest. $8,000. That's the credit score tax, and it is real. So if your credit needs work, that's where it all starts. Learn how to leverage it. Learn how to protect it. Learn how to build it. Find a mentor. Find a program. Find someone who actually knows what they're talking about and tap in. Because the dealership is not going to teach you this. The school system is not going to teach you this. The bank is definitely not going to teach you this. But I will, every single video. So if you got value from this, and I know you did because you're still here, hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. Share this with someone you know who's about to go car shopping. You might literally save them $10,000, and that person will owe you lunch for life. I'll see you in the next one.